Please welcome Razer Ray Chamberlain.
47.
47 years old.
Razer, that is unbelievable. You've been at the elite level forever.
It feels that way. I have to check the Zimmer frame in when we go interstate, James, which means I've got to get in there a bit early. But it's been so much fun. It feels like it's 20 years, but it feels like 2 minutes as well.
Unbelievable. That is incredible.
380
I think I
games.
can speak to you
Yeah.
for you. At 47, I'm not doing anything.
No, Jim.
So that's a bloody good effort.
That's
in
a
itself.
really good effort. And you still love the game.
Absolutely love it, Bill. I remember when I first got involved, it was by accident.
Why?
So we come from an NRL family. My mum's uncle, Johnny Hawk. You know how you talk about the eras of dominance and you win 3 flags. They won 11 in a row.
St. George.
That's right. And he captained them. So I was meant to go and get registered for rugby league. Now, as you can see by my build, it's a devastating loss to the game, right?
Exactly.
I think you made a good call.
Yeah, Nathan Cleary's rapt that I'm not there because you never know, it might have stunted his career. But, so Mum took me down to register for footy and it was AFL footy. Ooh. And Dad come down 6 weeks later to watch my first game and 4 goal posts up there. He's like, what have you signed the boy up to? And anyway, the whole family, they're mad Swans supporters. They watch 2 games every week, Jim. The Swans and whatever game I'm butchering.
Of course they do.
And we love it. We love the game.
So that must be bloody hard. I've often wondered that. So the parents of umpires,
Family.
because it's bloody thankless. Everyone barracks against the umpires.
Yes.
For some reason, it's become a thing for 100 years. So how do your folks and siblings and mates go with that?
I roll through life fairly oblivious to a lot of things, Jim, which is, I think, helpful at times. But Mum once said to me, I was so worried when you said, I'm going to go and give this a go. And I never realised that she felt that way.
Yeah, right.
But I remember, Jim, when I started, I played rep footy. I was no good, but I played footy in Canberra.
Very good cricketer.
And
The comments. Your comments?
We played a bit of underage stuff and that, but I carried Brad Haddon's bags, to be fair, which is no shame in that. Haddon's a jet, right?
Yeah.
I had all this wonderful positive feedback because back then you had to be 60 and either bald or white-haired to umpire junior footy, right? And so I was a kid doing it.
Ooh.
And so what happened was I got all this positive affirmation, which I look back now and I realise how important it was within the environment to build your resilience. Like, no, I'm okay at this, actually.
Yep.
They're going off for other reasons. It's not necessarily me. A little bit me, but not necessarily me. And I think for people who go to the local footy, if you're not part of the solution, you might be part of the problem.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I think we've probably got a little bit better at that.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
reckon in the last 10 years,
Yes.
but it's got to improve.
Well, I heard you on radio. I remember. I know I'm probably that. You sit there and you're in the cave and bloody
No, you
umpires.
are. You're an
So
umpire.
I'm hand up, not a basher.
Yeah.
But then I was listening to Ray on another radio station, SENX. He was on, and you were bloody good because you were telling the people there how hard it is in a split second or 2 seconds. Mark, is it in the back? Is it too high? Does he play on? And I'm listening, I'm going, she's right. It's a bloody
But
tough
it is
job.
Toughest sport in the world to officiate.
One look at it's the challenge too.
Yeah.
You should see how good I am when I'm at home on the couch watching it.
Yeah,
I haven't made a blue yet.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm phenomenal.
Yeah.
But live's a bit different.
Oh, bloody
So
oath,
the interesting one for me, and I had this happen in a game I called a month or so ago. There was an umpire about 3 metres away, who didn't pay a head high free.
Yes.
And then the non-officiating umpire who's 35, 40 metres away did pay it.
Yep.
And I was very confident that the guy very close made the right call. It wasn't there. But anyway, that was the call, and we all go, move on because that's the game. I wonder, Razer, if when you get into the huddle at quarter time, the bloke who was closest says, hang on a minute. I was there. I saw exactly what happened. You keep your whistle to yourself. It's my call.
Words are powerful things, Jim, right? And when this first started, what we call an out of zone free kick, right? Words were like overrule.
Right.
And I sort of one day put my hand up and said, you reckon we shift this a bit?
Yeah.
Can we call it an assist?
Yes, right.
And guys like Sean Ryan and Brett Roseberry and Matt Stevick and Simon Meredith, they're our guns. They're our big dogs. And they led all that cultural change. Often, the closer you are, the harder it is to know, is it a free or isn't it?
Right.
You can be too close to
Yeah,
something,
okay.
not see the whole elephant,
Yep.
right? And from further away, you got a bit of time and you get a different perspective. So line of sight's really interesting. One of the things we're talking about another radio station, I won't mention their name, but Gerard Waitley came and umpired a junior game with me one day.
Yep.
Bloody legend. Yeah. And he goes, oh my God. And I was 12, these kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But I think just living in it and go, oh, okay, I get it now.
Mm.
I think that helps.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
What do you say to those that say you impose yourself too much on the game or the player and you get too involved?
Yeah, there's some validity to that. Not everyone likes strawberry ice cream, Bill. And and the other part to it is, I think, I remember being told by a coach once, he said, you are a horrible Hayden Kennedy and a worse Darren Goldspink.
Jeepers.
He goes, but you're a shit hot Ray Chamberlain. So I think,
Not a twin, is it?
I think if you just be yourself,
Yes.
right, then at least people can decide, okay, well, that's him.
Yeah.
Darren Goldspink used to have the big fat ass.
Did
We used to
What's
comment
this
on it
past
regularly.
tense?
Well, I don't know what he's looking like now, Goldie. But I saw him at an airport a few years after he'd finished, and he said, "What was it with you and the size of my ass?" I said, "Goldie, you couldn't see the rest of the bloody centre circle. He went into bounce." More with Ray Chamberlain after this. Been a bloody star.
Well battled.
3 grand finals for you, Razer. I can't imagine. I'm just trying to think. I reckon it was Geelong, Sydney, 2 grand finals ago, where the opening bounce didn't work. And I don't know who it was, but I was devastated for him because I thought that's got to be the most pressure an umpire can ever be under.
Incredible. And the guys who have done it in the games that I've been involved in are phenomenal. I remember to steer away from that one, but the context of it, I got picked for my first grand final a billion years ago.
Which one?
2010?
That was the drawer.
Oh,
and,
wow.
So the coach took me aside and said, listen, Ray, you just toddle off down to the end and just calm down and let the big dogs, Rosebery and Ryan, take over. So Breddy Rosebery, before he hurt himself, he was just the most phenomenal ball bouncer.
He was.
And so he took the first one and he launches it. It's a beauty. Yeah. And ruck contest takes place and then Jolly just goes bang and runs forward. 17 seconds in, he's kicked the goal. So when I toddle, I've had no time to settle. I get this ball back. I'm looking around. There's 100,000 people going, for the love of Christ, go up straight. It was like the Hurt Locker. I'm going in to the bomb, and I didn't even feel it when I put it down. And thank the Lord, it went dead. So I was saying, oh my God, to get it away and just go, all right, I'm going to be okay. So it's massive, and of course everyone's waiting for it, the roar and all of the things. This is for the purists, the traditionalists. Back in the day, they used to punch it into the ground.
Really?
And the bounce is an unpredictable restart to play. Wow. And that's progressed to, it must go 5 to 6 metres and dead straight, land in this little circle. So
should it stay?
Or scrap
I love the notion of the bounce. I've never, this might be hard for you to believe, guys, but I've never contested a centre bounce in my life.
No?
Nah.
Not with your
ripped off, mate. So I'm not the one to ask. I reckon it's the big fellas would be
the ruckman.
Yeah, I think it's their craft.
Yep.
We're there to serve them. That's our role, actually.
We could scrap it.
Well, I would love it to start every quarter.
Just once.
And then throw it up from there.
So 4 times.
Yeah, that would be my love. Because we can't get rid of it full stop. It's iconic.
You love the whole idea. And I get that.
Yep.
I get that. I'll say this. It caused me, and this is a me issue. It caused me untold anxiety.
Yeah, right.
Because it was the one thing where I didn't feel like it was rock solid.
But you hurt your back too.
Yeah, that's right, and that doesn't help. But so since I haven't had to do it, my anxiety has dissipated. But when you walk off the ground, when you did it all and you nailed it, God, it felt good. Yeah. So,
Razer, tell us about the players you loved officiating with.
He loves Buddy.
Well, no, I did love Big Frank. He was funny. He was funny. Yeah, hilarious. There was one day we're at the SCG, and there was a young guy bumping into him from Carlton, and Carlton weren't like they are now, steaming.
Yep.
And you could tell Buddy was like, "Oh my god, the siren hasn't gone, and this guy's doing this. What is your mum here watching you?" Sort of thing. And I hear my name being yelled out, and I turn around, and it's Bud, and he says, "I know your name. Who's this?"
Oh,
Right? And it was brilliant,
Very
right?
good.
And you try not to laugh.
Yeah.
So I do love those guys, but Andrew Mackey's hilarious.
He's got a quick
Mac,
wit,
very.
and he used to use it back in the
Bloody
day.
oath.
And it never anything like derogatory, but just hilarious. And might be about their hair, or you know, guy's got a new haircut and he wouldn't miss. Like,
Oh, man.
you know, people are watching on TV. that stuff. all
Well,
the
and I
time.
remember you and my nephew Angus Brayshaw, just a little low five. What
Yes.
caused that?
Well, it was a bit weird. It was like, so he done this really bizarre. He didn't try to kick it out of bounds. He changed his mind and it slewed off. And then everyone's going, "Oh, you'll pay the free kick for insufficient intent, deliberate." But I
You
didn't
love that.
I
Could you
thought,
sprint there? Everyone's watching you. Here's Ray. Oh,
don't knock it till you try it, Phil. It feels so good.
mate, everyone's watching the
Oh,
umpire.
yeah.
It's
But,
their big moment.
Yeah, and I went, "No, it's a skill error."
error, yeah,
and anyway, he's looking at me waiting to see, and when I didn't, he sort of put his hand out. I went, "I can't leave him hanging." I was on a hiding to nothing.
graze, wasn't it?
Just a little one.
graze.
Yeah.
Is 4 umpires too many? Because you would have umpired with 3?
Yeah.
2? No, just 3.
Not true as a junior.
Yeah.
Like 3. So I think we're there to officiate and accurately implement decision and manage things like set kick control, which is mark free kick, and get on with it, right? That and let the players play. When it was 3, like there were games that I'd come off on my GPS. I'd covered 19 kilometres. Like it was an athletic event, and so. You know, there are umpires who I umpired state league footy with who were brilliant, but they just didn't have the physicality to be able to do it with 3, but they'd have been great at the level.
Yeah, okay.
But they never got there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's about having Mo Farah in a lime green shirt. I don't think that's what we need necessarily. I think we need accurate decision making and excellent management.
What do you say to people who are, and it's been the last 6 to 8 weeks, saying this is the worst umpiring's been?
Yeah, we're in a funny time. There's a bit going on.
There's a lot of scrutiny on it at the moment.
There is, and look, it's easy to get defensive when you're in the group that's being,
bubble,
critiqued.
Yep.
But if you step back and just take a deep breath, there's always opportunity to get better. We've got some guys at the top end who are aging. You know, as I said earlier, I've named them. They're our best.
Yeah.
They're so good. They've umpired finals for 15, 16 years. Like if a club went 16 years on the bounce in finals, like
Geelong, Richmond.
Geelong and Sydney nearly have.
Sydney,
And
yeah.
that's what's happened to Geelong and Richmond there.
Well, and so some of our older boys now are like me, late 40s, and so that age shall weary them, right? And then we went to 4.
Yeah.
So you bring on 10 guys
Yep.
who were in state league,
Yeah.
who potentially wouldn't have been on, so they're learning on the job.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that. And then I think also, many tributaries make the Nile. I think also we like to get to 11 out of 10 pretty quick,
Yeah. True.
and often it's, if you sat those people down and said, "Tell me the rule."
Yeah.
They might struggle a bit, Jim.
Oh, mate, don't
I
worry.
haven't read the rule
I
book,
went
by the way.
from a player to a commentator in cricket very quickly, and I was astounded at how many of the laws of the game of cricket I wasn't properly across.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having played professionally for a decade.
Yeah.
So
don't-
I'm sure you're right.
Well, you don't read the
Football's
book,
no
do you?
different.
You think you know the rules because
And
you grew up with it.
also, players make 1,000 times more mistakes than the umps do, but we focus much more on the umpires' mistakes.
Are you living around the South Yarra area? I see you running the tan and walking up and down Domain Road.
Another couple of good coffee shops, and the office is just over here. So
Right.
spend a bit of time around the place, mate.
The Bot? Do you know the Bot?
I was there actually. I was there for breakfast.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with
Hutchie.
Yes,
Yeah.
this week, which was good.
Another cashy.
What are you going to do, mate? Once you've finished this amazing career, what's next?
So I have a mortgage broking business here in South Melbourne. I've got a great team there. They don't want to see me anymore. I get in their way.
What's that called? Give it a plug.
Chamberlain and Co. It's a really original name, Bill. You can we workshop that for years.
Well done,
And then obviously then all of a sudden you go, well, what are you great at, and it's not a lot of things you can say, I've been really good at this. And I love footy and I love umpiring, and I'm always going to be an umpiring person. I value so highly having been part of the AFL group. And you never It's never yours. Like you're just visiting.
Yep.
Right. And but I always I'd love to always be able to contribute in whatever way's appropriate. And what that will be, time will tell. It might be toddle off, mate, or it might be, hey, can you go and look at these blokes and tell us what you think and whatever else. But you know, as you guys know, it doesn't matter what shape, what form it's at. If you're involved at the elite level of sport, particularly footy, it's just the best.
It is.
Shangri-La.
And you've got to have a bit of sizzle. So try and bring that into some of them because they're very straight and a bit of fun, but still being good at what you do.
Thank you, Bill. That's how we'd like you to go ahead.
And I'll see you at the
Razer. Great to see you, mate. Congratulations. Enjoy the last phase of what's been a ripping
well
career.
done.
Gents, thanks very much for having me in. I really appreciate it.